Dinosaur Adventureland in Lenox, Alabama. It is June the 1st, 2022. We're glad you joined us. We believe the Bible is absolutely true. God made everything in 6 days, and evolution is the dumbest and most dangerous religion in the world. Tonight, Wednesday, Whack an Atheist, where I wear red typically to, well, you know, fire them up a little bit, right? Just come on, guys, bring it on. All right. Dinosaurs lived with man. Evolution's a dumb, ridiculous religion. It's not a scientific theory. It's a religion. You believe in evolution. Nobody's ever seen any of it. Come visit our Dinosaur Adventureland in Lenox, Alabama, 1 mile north of downtown Lenox. We are now in Genesis Baptist Church, where we meet almost every night, and then Sunday morning. And tonight is Whack an Atheist. Now, no atheists were harmed in the making of this video. It's a joke, okay? We're just trying to knock some sense into them, use real science, get your imagination. Just imagine. Bumblebees are related to whales. You can imagine all you want. Anyway, we have visitors from all over the place. Any folks want to share a testimony? How'd you like Dinosaur Adventureland? How you like the tour today? Encourage others to come. Anybody want to come up and get on camera and become world famous, though? Come on, brother. Get up here. All right. Tell them how you like, where you're from and how you like Dinosaur Adventureland and all that stuff. Have to get on your knees, I guess. They told my chair.
All right.
Okay. What's your name and where are you from?
Aaron Lusto from Morgan City, Louisiana.
Okay.
Went on the real tour.
Ah.
Yeah. It was rugged. It was sandy. I got a little wet.
Oh,
just a little bit. A little dirty. It was very educational. Learned a lot more about creation, how things came into being. And I believe it.
You encourage people to come visit Dinosaur Adventureland?
Absolutely.
What about the entrance price? Was that kind of steep?
The price was unbeatable. It was free.
Free.
That's
right. We
right.
could beat it by paying people $10 to come.
Yeah, you could pay people to come.
Do that.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that's not a good
Amen.
idea.
Well, thank you, brother. Tell others about us. Advertise for us and bring folks to come back with more people.
Absolutely.
You got some Cajuns over there that are sinners, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bring them. We'll fix it. All right. Thank you, brother. Good. Anybody else want to share a testimony real quick? I got a bright spotlight in my eye here. No. Okay. Put the screen back up there, brother. And we'll go. Tonight, Whack an Atheist Wednesday. We're going to show how stupid the evolution religion is. So many atheists, so little time. Got to keep whacking them. All right. We only do this whacking to wake them up before it's too late. Okay. Wake up. You've been taught something dumb, right? There is a God, and you must face him one day. Wake up. Okay. Bible says the fool said in his heart, there's no God. And you're a fool if you don't believe in God. You're just a fool. We're trying to help, okay? The fool said in his heart, there's no God. So we're trying to push you out of the way of a speeding car. We're trying to get you ready for Judgment Day. Whack up. Pay attention, boy. There's a God, okay? Tonight, a guy named Forrest Valkai. I never heard of him till today. Somebody sent me a link and said he did something against Matt. And Matt said, forget him, don't waste your time. I said, oh, he says there's 16 genders. Brother, I taught biology and anatomy. I can't think of more than 2. 16 genders, really. Anyway, I'd have to have that proven to me, Forrest. I'll debate him anytime with any number of assistants he wants. Just call Standing for Truth. We'll do it on their platform. Run, Forrest, run. You're about to get whacked, okay? Sweetly in Christian love. So I can't imagine, if you imagine that humans and whales have a common ancestor, you need help, right? That's not science, that's religion. So let's see, 6 debates in May and 5 now in June this month. In 2021, April 15th, I did a debate, and I did 286 of them in 56 debates in 58 weeks. Pretty good. So this one, Dr. Moore said Kent Hovind is the Hulk Hogan of creationists. You can see the similarities. My wife says, oh, honey, that's so true. Yeah, okay. Rich, it's you. Okay, I don't think so. Yeah. The evolution destroyer. Well, bring them on. So now we have 5 debates scheduled in June. Atheists, bring it on. Come on. Tonight, Wednesday, Whack an Atheist, June the 1st. July, we have 1 debate scheduled so far, and our boot camp, July 1st through the 4th. Be sure to come for that. So let's see, we're taking on Fox and what's his name here? Nick, and Atheist Junior decided to come back. Thank you, Junior. Appreciate that. 5 debates for June. Where's all your brave evolutionists? You were so bold and brave in front of your students, where you have the obvious academic and psychological advantage. Come on, take on somebody you can't fail, you can't frighten, you can't fool. I'll take you all on same time. Let's see, all kinds of debates, 286 debates, 5 more scheduled. Let's see. Standing for Truth is, I think, a very good platform. They keep it even time for each side, no interrupting, no cursing. So call them. I debated at Embry-Riddle one time, 3 against 1. I'll take on 10 or 20. Sweetly and Christian, is that my phone? Where's mine at? We're using mine for the signal. I got to shut I don't know where it is. Oh, okay. Yeah, shut the ringer off there, brother. So equal time for each side, not each person. Each side gets equal time. No interrupting, no swearing. That'll take Mr. Nelson out of the picture. Evolution side goes first and gives the best evidence for why they believe they came from a rock. Some of you don't have any courage to stand up for that. Okay, I understand, because you are a coward. Okay, Creation Boot Camp coming up July 1st through the 4th. Talked to a couple of the guys today, going to be doing seminar sessions that time. So come on down. Chris, I never got a picture of you in here yet. We'll get it. Okay. Creation Boot Camp, come on down. Fireworks that night, 4th of July. Okay, nope, we just had that already. Let's see, the tour. If you want to get our video series, 18 hours, $50 for the whole thing. You can get 10 sets for $300 and give them out to all your friends. And get our book and our video series on what on earth is about to happen, about the tribulation time. So we do the Whack an Atheist to warn you. If you face a God one day, and especially if you're trying to convince others not to believe in God, you are really in trouble. God told Ezekiel, son of man, I made you a watchman. Give the people warning. If I say to the wicked, you're going to die, and you don't warn him, his blood's required at your hand. So I have to just warn you, whether you listen or not, it's up to you. If thou warn the wicked, and he doesn't turn from his wickedness, you delivered your soul. So that's what I'm trying to do, okay? So if you're offending other children who believe in a guy called me today and cursed me out. He said, you're a pedophile with children because you teach them creation. I said, well, first, that's a long ways from a pedophile. Second, I think you guys that teach them they came from a rock, you're the one that are destroying children. Yeah, you guys are the ones that ought to be silenced from doing that, okay? So let's see. Kent Hovind, Reddit post. I don't know what Reddit is, but try to be. Kent Hovind is just evil. He's rude, narcissistic, and a convicted criminal and a domestic abuser. It drives me nuts. I don't know who wrote that, but it would not be a drive. That would be a short putt for you to go nuts. Okay, very short putt. Okay, here we go. That's the real evolution right there. I love it. Okay, this guy Forrest claims to be a science teacher. Forrest, an evolutionary biologist who teaches science on the internet. I think anybody could claim that title, couldn't they? Anyway, embarks on a quest to endure videos from people who claim everything he studied in college is wrong. Well, Forrest, I don't know what you studied in college, and I've never said everything you studied is wrong, but if you believe you came from a rock, that's wrong. If you believe you're related to a banana, that's wrong. If you believe animals turn to something else, that's wrong. You believe there are 16 genders, that's stupid. Okay, let's see. So here, I don't want to play his whole video. I just want to get to the part where he talks about homologous structures from about the 12-minute mark. 6 reasons not to believe in evolution. He did a YouTube on that. Let's see. So let me get over to, here. I got to drag this over, hit play, and enlarge the screen.
There we go.
Suppose there were a supernatural intelligent designer,
give me more volume?
and he created a world where many organisms would need to drink the same water, eat the same kinds of food, walk over the same types of terrain. What would happen? Well, obviously, he would use similarities, similar structures to accomplish his goals.
Okay. So what you're doing here is you're begging the question. You're saying there's a creator. He made everything and he would do it the same way. Therefore, we see these homologous structures which verify that there's this creator. Now, you can very easily try to turn that around and say, well, evolution's doing the same thing. I think they evolved and therefore it looks like this. The difference is in science, we look at the evidence and we say, where is this evidence pointing to?
It is wishful thinking, Forrest. In science, you look at who's funding me and let's please them. That's what you do.
And then we go with that. What you're doing here is saying, here's the solution that I'm trying to get to. Let's go find evidence for it.
Exactly what you evolutionists do. You've already decided everything evolved with no God involved. That's already decided. You've already decided everything came from an amoeba. Now, everything has to match that evidence. You have the preconceived idea. It's you doing exactly what you're accusing others of, okay?
And that doesn't work. Because what you ended up doing here is now, instead of just explaining why homology doesn't make sense to you, you've invented a totally new, different claim that now there's this creator here that you now have to justify.
You've invented the claim that there's a common ancestor to a mosquito and a whale. You invented that claim, and now you got to justify it. He's doing exactly what he's accusing us of, but go ahead, Forrest.
You have made a completely different argument. You haven't just gone to say, hey, this doesn't prove evolution. You've said this actually does prove something else, which you haven't provided any actual evidence for. And beyond that, you've made another claim about that designer's characteristics, about how they think and how they operate, that, of course, everything lives on the same earth, so this designer gave them all similar characteristics. What about the ones that they didn't give those characteristics to? What about the ones that have characteristics that don't suit the way that they live? What about whales, for example? If you look at almost any tetrapod, you've got this same bone pattern of one bone, two bones, little bones, long bones. And you see that in dogs and in humans and in sheep and in chickens and in bats and in whales and dolphins and porpoise. The ancestors of whales were land animals.
You are dreaming. Actually, you're having a nightmare, Forrest, okay? Whales have always made baby whales. No exceptions. None. We're going to talk a few more minutes here. We're going to talk about homology, his argument for evolution.
That evolved back into the water to become marine organisms. Whales have little hip bones and leg bones that you can't even see because they're tucked up under all their blubber. Those are vestigial structures, by the way.
You are lying or stupid, okay? Tell your mama I told you that, okay? They are not vestigial structures. Those little bones are part of the whale's reproductive system. They have to mate in the dark underwater, and they can't talk and don't have any arms and can't say, scoot over, honey. They have to maneuver their giant penis 15 feet long with those special muscles and bones. They are not vestigial structures. Study your anatomy, Forrest. Run, Forrest, run. You want to debate on that? Call Standing for Truth. I'll take you on that topic. Do whales have vestigial hip bones? No, they don't. You're either lying or you're dumb about whale anatomy. Quit saying you're a science teacher. You're an evolution religious preacher is what you are. Okay.
Which help to verify their evolutionary past. Now, granted, that isn't always the case. There are some structures that resemble each other, but those two organisms don't have a common ancestor that had those same structures.
So if they resemble each other and had a common ancestor, it counts for evolution. If they resemble each other and they don't have a common ancestor, it counts for evolution, doesn't it? That's their thinking. I think as far as I want to go here.
That does happen, but we have a word for that. It's called analogous structures. It's called convergent evolution, finding the same body plan.
So if you have a word for it, it's got to be true. Well, let's talk about one thing at a time here, Forrest. Homologous structures. Let's see. Homologous structures right here. Do homologous structures prove evolution? I don't think so. This is lie number 22 in my video series, video number 4, Lies in the Textbooks, DVD number 4. You get the whole series, $50. Watch number 4, Lies in the Textbooks. This is one of the many lies they teach the kids in school. Of course, what's a 5th or 6th or 7th grader supposed to do? The teacher says it, it's in the book, it's got to be true in their brain. This is propaganda, Soviet style. Okay, homologous structures, a bunch of baloney. Homologous structure is an example of an organ or bone that appears in different animals, underlying anatomical commonalities, demonstrating descent from a common ancestor. No, this is a common creator, but we'll get to that in a minute. In other words, it's very different animals have head bones that appear to be very similar in form or function and seem to be related, only in your mind, okay? In the following photos of plants, the leaves are quite different from normal leaves we envision. Oh, the pitcher plant, the fly trap, yeah, okay, the cactus, they're different, I agree. Evolutionary theory predicts related organisms will share similarities that are derived from common ancestors. Similar characteristics due to relatedness are known as homology. Homo means same, okay? Homology. Homologies can be revealed by comparing the anatomies of different living things. So cellular similarities, studying embryological development, what a lie, been proven wrong since 1874, and they're still teaching it. Studying vestigial structures. Oh, you don't need it anymore. So that's proof how we got everything. I see. You keep losing and losing and losing until you have it all. You should run for Congress. Help those guys borrow their way out of debt. Individual organisms. Let's see. Evolution or evidence of evolution. Homology. What observable evidence exists to support the idea that life on Earth has evolved its diversity through a long process? One of the most powerful forms of evidence is homology. Miami University, the students have to learn that garbage, right? Similar body parts may be homologous structures or analogous structures. See, they can have it either way. Both provide evidence for evolution. Homologous structures are structures that are similar in related organisms because they were inherited from a common ancestor. These structures may or may not have the same function. It's all over the internet. This is one of their biggest evidences for evolution. And Forrest, if you think this is evidence for evolution, call Standing for Truth. We'll debate one topic only, and this will be the topic, unless you got a better one you want to choose. You think homologous structures proves evolution? Really? Okay, bring it on. But this is in all the biology textbooks. I got 40 or 50 of them right here from schools all over the world. Homologous structures provide evidence that these animals evolved from a common ancestor. Oh, really? Okay. There they are, the forelimb of the crocodile and the whale and the bird. Similarities don't prove evolution. There's a great article on this on, where did I get this? This is from 30 years ago. So-called homologous structures are no proof of common descent and are no proof for evolution. Charles Darwin believed similar structures in different animals strongly suggested a common evolutionary ancestor. In many cases, what are called homologous structures are produced by the action of different genes. So the forelimb bones, the radius and the ulna, might have come from totally different gene structure in the human than they do in a different animal. But yet they count for your evidence, don't they? Come from a different gene structure. Let's see. For example, you could change a mutation. You could change by mutation the gene that governed the development of the alleged ancestral vertebrate forelimb 1,000,000 times and never produce, say, a seal's flipper or man's arm. The development is controlled by different genes. Similarities among somewhat similar creatures reveal the differences are more important than the similarities. Look at the hands of 4 primates: tarsier, gibbon, chimpanzee, and human. Despite the similarities of the hands, the differences are what make each most suitable for its way of life. The tarsier leaps and clings and has large finger pads to help it do this. The gibbon swings from trees and has long, strong fingers for swinging. The chimpanzee may be to manipulate crude tools with its stubby thumb, but the human's thumb faces the forefinger, which provides dexterity for countless purposes, threading a needle to mountain climbing, from carving wood to buttoning a shirt. So-called homologous structures are no proof of common descent, so are no proof of evolution. Darwin's approach to reject the creation explanation as unscientific because you don't want to believe it is not rational. This is particularly so when the facts are readily explained as the product of a designer. Here's the difference. I can't prove the homologous structures are evidence of a designer, and you can't prove they're evidence of a common creator, a common ancestor. But we all have to pay for your theory to be taught, don't we, Forrest? And you think that's fine? No, it's not fine, Forrest. The feet of the different chimpanzee, orangutan, gorilla, etc., are very, very different. They can hang from a branch with their toe on one side, big toe, and other toes on the other side. Let's see you do that. Pick a low branch, okay? The feet are very different from all the chimpanzees, monkeys, orangutans, apes. The grasping hand, American Museum of Natural History and Propaganda for Evolution. The grasping hand of a primate are an adaptation to life in the trees. The common ancestor of all primates evolved an opposable thumb. Wait. Could it be it was designed with a thumb to grab the opposite side of the branch? Oh, no, can't be. Okay. What makes human hands unique? Same article. The human opposable thumb is longer compared to finger length than any other primate thumb. This long thumb and its ability to easily touch the other fingers allows humans to firmly grasp and manipulate objects of many different shapes. The human hand can grasp with strength and with fine control, so it can throw a baseball or sign a name on the dotted line. Where's the thumb? When moving quickly through the trees, spider monkeys use their hands like hooks and swing from branch to branch. Spider monkeys have evolved an extremely small thumb bone. A full-size thumb would hinder their swinging. Oh, maybe they're designed for swinging in the trees. The hands are different. The feet are different. The rib cage is different. The pelvic bones are different. You say, but yeah, they look kind of similar to me. That doesn't prove common ancestry. You can imagine that it does. Humans have a hip bone, their legs angle out, hips angle out to the side. Chimpanzees don't have that. Sure, there are some similarities. The same God designed them all. Look at this. 98% genetic similarity, they say. However, we're not as similar as you think. There's all kinds of articles saying, look, we are not as similar as you think to chimpanzees and orangutans and apes, etc. Understanding science. 97% of scientists agree with whoever is funding them. I like that. Bingo, you got it right there. But the textbooks teach this homologous structures as evidence for evolution. Really, homology, evidence for evolution. They descended from a common ancestor, essence of biology. Oh, Campbell book, right? Campbell, I'll take him on any day. Modern textbooks are used in Michigan, University of Michigan. Homology, for example, the forelimbs of vertebrates are all homologous structures with different appearances and functions that all derive from the same body part in a common ancestor. This is propaganda. You're lying. I'll take on the whole state of Michigan, all you scientists, all of you. Bring it on, okay? Critical thinking, right. Is this Miller, the Catholic biology teacher up in Rhode Island? A seal's flipper and a human arm have very different functions. What evidence might help to show that both structures evolved from a forelimb of a common ancestor? None, Kenneth, none, okay? Commonalities suggest these and other vertebrates are all related. They probably evolved from a common ancestor. Commonalities suggest they're all related, had a common ancestor. The bones develop from different genes in different organisms. Evolutionists cannot explain it and seldom discuss it. Why isn't the gene code identical? Irish textbook still teaching the homology stuff. Let's see, that's a Russian or Ukrainian. I forget. I traveled. I used to get the textbooks from every country I went to and look at. They all use the same evidence, the lying about evolution. Human, cat, whale, and bat. Look at that, boys and girls. We all have fingers. Yeah. Works good, doesn't it? I think it works good. I like mine. Similar design might prove the same designer made them. The lug nuts from a Chevy will fit on a Pontiac. That's proof they both evolved from a Toyota or Honda or skateboard. Conclusions from comparative anatomy. Many animals have a similar forelimb structure. They must have had a common ancestor. Oh, now that's a bad conclusion from a good observation. This helps prove we came from a rock. Now you got a really bad conclusion. Bird and insect wings are analogous. They serve the same functions, but have different evolutionary organs. So the insects don't have any bones in their wings at all, but that's still evidence for evolution, isn't it? So whether they have bones that are similar or don't have bones at all, everything counts as evidence for your religion. I see. Okay. Analogous structures. They're anatomically different. Similar functions, convergent evolution. Yeah, you got a name for it, Forrest. Doesn't make it true. Analogous structures. The wings of birds, bats, and insects are analogous. These animals have dissimilar evolutionary origins. Their wings differ anatomically, but have a similar function, which is for flight. You got that right. They use it to fly. Therefore, they're related? No. They have to live in the air and fly through the air. They were designed for that. Examples of analogous structures, the insect wing, the bird wing, and the bat wing. I see. You know, there's all kinds of different bats. There are, let's see, 1,400 different species of bats. They might have had a common ancestor, a bat. That's not proof they're related to a whale or a mosquito. 40 different types of birds, 9,000 species of birds. Whoa. Might have had a common ancestor, a bird. For a guy who can't tell there's only two genders, male and female, he may have a hard time telling the difference between a bird and a chimpanzee or a rock and a whale. He claims to be a science teacher. Run, Forrest, run. Or call Standing for Truth and schedule a debate on whatever you think is best. What's the best evidence for evolution? I want to see it. You think it's homology? Bring it on, okay? Is homology evidence for evolution? Long story short, is homology due to common descent or common design? There's a good article about that. This is in, Michael Denton has a great video on that. No. 7 animals that appear to fly besides birds and bats. There's a flying snake, flying frog. Yeah, all kinds of animals appear to fly. It's designed. They're designed to do what they do. But see, we believe God designed everything, and they have varieties within the same kind. You guys believe the variations prove everything's related. On the tour today, we mentioned there are 250 different kinds of cows. Might have had a common ancestor called a cow. It doesn't prove a cow is related to a mosquito. But in your guys' twisted brain, you think these variations that happen prove common ancestry. No, I point out that there are rodeos where they ride cows and train them to jump. They train them to jump over fences, and they have records. Who can jump their cow the highest? Okay. I think the whole thing's dumb, but that's what they do. So if you could train your cow to jump, and you work him out with weights, take him to the gym, get him run, jump higher and higher, eventually that cow could jump over the moon, couldn't it? No. There are limits. See, there's limits to how far these animals can change. Let's see. There's limits to how far the owls can go. You might get a big owl or a small owl. I bet you'll never get an owl as big as Texas. There's a limit, isn't there? Sure. God made them to bring forth after their kind. That's all we've ever seen. Nobody has ever seen what you guys dream of with evolution. So, Forrest, I'll explain to you when we'll go out for a ride. I'll explain there's only two genders, okay? Only two, okay? If you believe there's more, I'm sorry for you. But you're a science teacher, I want to help. I'd like to have you on the creation side. I'm not your enemy, I'm your friend. I'm doing this whacking atheist on you because you need to wake up. You're not only been taught something dumb, you believe something dumb, and you're teaching others something dumb. There is no evidence for evolution, none. So call Standing for Truth, schedule a time for a debate. Okay, any questions or comments?
Yes.
Oh, how did Noah, his three sons, their wives, defy the laws of engineering by building a wooden boat big enough to hold so many animals and stay afloat? Big Bad Mama. Thank you. Got the beer cans in your hair still? Okay. Let's see. I'm sorry. Maybe not. Maybe they're Coke cans, right? Well, first of all, how do you know they did that? Secondly, a couple of things I'd like you to consider if you really want an answer, which I doubt, okay? The Bible says, you can take that down, brother. When Noah built that ark, when he entered the ark for the flood, he was 600 years old. It might have taken him 100 years to build that boat. Noah could have known Adam's son or grandson. The knowledge passed on by people living to be 900 years old would be phenomenal. Okay? My son's working with Laszlo, our mechanic, who knows everything about mechanics, and he's learning so much. Like, wow, look at all the stuff I'm learning. Yeah, you got a great teacher. I think these people who lived to be 900 knew all kinds of things and could teach it to their great-great-great-great-grandchildren because they're still alive. Anyway, so if Noah was 600 when he went on the boat, and they took 100 years to build the boat, keep in mind that boat was not designed to sail. It was only designed to float. It would float land. That was it. I think I covered that on video number 3 of my series about dinosaurs. Noah, I think, took dinosaurs on the ark, probably babies. You got to understand, Big Bad Mama, there are about 8,000 different kinds of animals on land in the world. Different kinds. There's a website called baraminology.com. Baramin is the Hebrew word for kind. B-A-R-A-M-I-N. So go to baraminology.com. There's about 8,000 kinds of animals on land. Noah did not have to take fish on the ark. They had plenty of water outside, okay? He didn't have to take insects. God told him clearly. He said, all those on land in whose nostrils is the breath of life. Insects don't have nostrils. And God said, they will come to you, Noah. Noah didn't have to go get any of them. Build the boat, stand there with the door open. 2 of each kind came into Noah. God shut the door, and then they sailed around and landed, and the animals got off. So to get all the animals today from 8,000 basic kinds of animals on land is not a problem. But you guys believe all the animals today came from a rock. That's a problem. The guy that called me today and cussed me out said, we don't believe we came from a rock. I said, well, where did we come from? I said, do you believe the earth started off as a hot molten mass? Oh, yeah. And it cooled down, developed a rocky crust? Yeah. And then it rained on the rocks for millions of years and turned them into soup? Yep. So you came from a rock? No. He said, we came from chemicals. The rock between his ears, okay? Call anytime. So let's see. Big Bad Mama, to doubt the story of Noah's Ark and all that, you're welcome to do that. However, you have strained at a gnat and swallowed an elephant. To go from that, doubting that, to believing you came from a rock and you're related to a mosquito, you really swallowed an elephant, okay? Get the rollers out of your hair, get the cigarette out of your mouth, and start thinking, there's a God, and you're going to face him one day, and we're here to help. Okay, yes, Rich?
Wasn't the ark built to a 6-to-1 ratio or something like that? It was like perfect.
6-to-1 ratio, the perfect seagoing. It's not the best ratio for speed, the length to width ratio, but it's perfect for floating. How many barges are built? How many shipping companies ship stuff across the ocean? They just take their time, go slow. They have giant barges. That's about the ratio they use, 6-to-1. There's been a lot of research done on that. Answers in Genesis in Kentucky has a a model of Noah's Ark, and they got a few mistakes, I think. It didn't have cages, it had rooms, but that's okay. And they've done a lot of study on the length to width ratio and said that's perfect for floating in rough seas. Of course, we don't know that the ocean was rough seas everywhere. While Noah was in the ark, the whole world's covered in water. I bet there were some places where it was calm. I bet there's storms going on right now someplace in the world. I bet there are waves 40 feet high beating on someplace. Doesn't happen here. So it's a big world. Okay, and it's round, by the way, for you flat earthers. Okay, Kent, if only two kinds. Oh, that's Forrest. Kong? What? Okay. If only the kinds got into the ark, how come in 6,000 years they evolved to millions of animals? And today we don't see that rate of change. Well, first of all, it's only been 4,400 years since the flood, not 6,000. 4,400 years ago was this flood. And I was talking about this in a debate or seminar someplace, and we mentioned, well, the atheist said, oh, you can't get that many kinds of dogs in this short a time. One lady stood up, she said, sir, my family's been raising dogs for 3 generations, 100 years. My grandfather started a kennel, and we raise dogs and get varieties of dogs and sell them. She said, we've been in the kennel business for 100 years. I'm 3rd generation. She said, I can tell you right now, you give us 20 or 30 or 40, I forget what number, she said, just generic mutts. If you pick out a mutt, we'll take it. And with selective breeding, with those mutts, we can get every breed of dog today in 100 years. And most of the breeds of dogs have been developed by man for a particular purpose, like the lap dog, the Chihuahua or something. And most of them wouldn't last 10 minutes in the wild. If you turn all the dogs in the world loose back in the woods, most of them wouldn't make it, okay? They've been developed to be, you got to babysit them now. So I think that it's not a problem, but you guys don't get it. You have rejected, I think, a logical, plausible story that all the animals could have fit in one boat, bring babies, of course. After the flood, they could have diversified depending on the climate. The ones with the longer hair survive better in cold climate. The climate would do, natural selection works great, but it selects, it doesn't create. But yeah, you would reject that concept and instead believe you all came from a rock. I don't understand how you can't see it. Okay, let's see. Did I get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Who cares what the Bible says? It's definitely fiction. Okay. See you later. Next question. I mean, variations within a kind is still evolution. Can you explain a duck-billed platypus? Variations, see, this goes back to what do you mean by evolution? Is it microevolution? I cover that thoroughly a couple times in my seminar series. Variations within the same kind is a variation. Now, they call it microevolution. Chihuahua and Great Dane probably had a common ancestor called a dog. If you want to call that microevolution, okay, but I think it gives what's called the free rider effect to evolution. I don't think we should use that term. It's simple variation. God said they bring forth after their kind. There are 1,400 varieties of bats. Might have had a common ancestor. 9,000 species of birds. That doesn't mean birds and bats are related. You guys just don't get it. Wait. Here. Wake up, please, wake up. The variations we see do not add up to infinity. Like the cow cannot jump over the moon because you can train him to work harder, okay? They probably reached the limit on horse speed. I don't know how fast the horse goes. Pick a number. What do they go, 35 mile an hour now in the Kentucky Derby, whatever the speed is? I don't think they'll ever get one go 300 mile an hour. I bet there's a limit in there somewhere. Maybe they might push the limit up just a little bit, like, every once in a while somebody breaks a world's record in something. Okay, but it's minuscule. Let's see. I always wanted to know, do you really eat pizza with peanut butter on it? Randall, if you eat pizza with peanut butter on it late at night, you go to bed and you dream dreams and see visions. You have wild ideas. That's how I got my daughter. That's a different story. Okay, so I've done it a couple times, yeah. All right, go ahead. I don't do it often, though. Okay, that's it. Thank you for joining us. Come visit Dinosaur Adventureland. It's free. Come for our boot camp next month, a month from today. We'd love to have you down here. If you stay more than a day or so, we're going to give you a hammer and put you to work, right? How long have you been here now, Damien? Almost 2 years? Rich? On and off 2.5 years. We can't get rid of him. Judy, how long have you been here? 6 months. 6 months? Yeah. It's fun. It's like heaven down here. Come on down. We'd love to have you. All right. See you tomorrow. Bye.